Okay, hello everyone, this is Casady Stamps. And you might have heard that YouTube, I believe it was on June 10th, or was it? And yes, I have confirmed that it was on June 10th. And you know, if you in the past have relied on poll cards for things, and now don't know what to turn to rely on, well, you are in luck, because I have 3 alternatives to the no longer existing YouTube poll cards. Number 1 would be StrawPoll.com. Number 2 would be forums.google.com, Google Forms. And number 3 would be Twitch polls. And they are in no particular order, just the order that I wrote them down. The first alternative on my list is StrawPoll. StrawPoll is a website that is dedicated to anonymous opinion polls. The pros of it include, but are in no way limited to, like I said, it is anonymous. You can set deadlines, or you can leave it indefinite. That is something that is quite nice about it. It has full emoji support. Full emoji support. An account is not required for the creator or for the viewer that is brought to it. It has IP protection, which means that it is limited to 1 vote per IP, so that, you know, one person can't just spam votes on their network. Because, you know, while they could go to another network and vote, it would take time. And also, there is no voter cap. As many people as are led there can vote on it. Now, there are cons to it. By default, you cannot use a VPN with it. It's because VPNs can allow you to bypass the IP protection. Also, if the IP protection is enabled, you can only have 1 vote per network. If the IP protection is disabled, 1 person can just spam votes. And finally, it is not connected to Google, which it means it is in no way connected to your YouTube account. Alternative number 2 is known as Google Forms. Google Forms is a subcategory of Google Docs, and it allows you to create quizzes, digital paperwork, and, yep, polls. Pros of it include, but are in no way limited to, that it is connected to Google. You can restrict Google accounts to 1 response per form. And you can open voting to those people who don't have an account. However, cons include that it is overkill for polls. And it may or may not be anonymous, depending on what the owner of the forum sets it to. The third and final alternative is Twitch polls. Twitch polls are a way for Twitch affiliates and partners to get an idea of what their viewer base either wants or thinks. Pros include that it is connected directly to a content creation platform, albeit not YouTube. It is also easy to set up. And you can instantly know the results as you're creating the content. However, there are cons. At this present time, it is limited to affiliates and partners only. I have no idea if it'll ever change in the future. I'm hoping it will, but I have no idea. The content creator may restrict it to subscribers only, or subscribers' votes may count double. And also, once again, it is not connected to Google. So it also has that going against it. Okay, you can now see this. This is the StrawPoll's website. So, I'm going to create a sample poll. Do you think YouTube should have removed poll cards. Yes. Or no, not yes. No. Definitely not. It was much simpler back then. But this is good too. Or no, I'm going to change it to something. I highly doubt what they claimed to be the usage rate was accurate. Okay, let's see. Allow multiple choices? No. And then you just simply share it. And then we copy the link. And then I can actually paste it into the into the word processor. So let's see, let's just put it here. And there we go. That is how you use YouTube StrawPoll. Now, Google Forms is also fairly simple to use once you get the hang of it. That is slightly the wrong color. There we go, that is the color. But anyways, on to Google Forms. Okay, we are now in Google Forms. And let's see, what should we name this? Minecraft not assessment, poll set. What is your favorite dimension? And then we can, not short answer. I mean, that is something we can do, but because there are only 3 dimensions in Minecraft as of currently, we can just say the overworld, the nether, the end. And then we add a question. Oh, another thing you can do is require them to answer the questions. I am not going to make that one required. Which biome do you like best? And then we can make it a short answer question. So for example, you could say ice plains, or snowy tundra, as it's called now. Or you could say savanna. Or you could say mesa, or badlands as they call it now. Or you could say literally anything, which is a bit of a con with the short answer. Which tool do you always carry? Pickaxe. Which tools do you always carry? Pickaxe. Shovel. Select all that apply. Pickaxe, shovel, axe. Or you could just technically say AX because they are both correct. Tilling device. And then I'm going to include weapons in this, so bow, sword, flint, and steel. Am I going to include the clock and compass in this? No, I'm not. So yeah, that's what I'm going to include. And then I am actually going to make that required. Add question. You could also do a drop-down form. What is your biggest skill set? Option 1. I could say, for option 1, I could say building. For option 2, I could say redstoning. I could say PvP. I could say hardcore runs. Non-PvP mini games. And actually, I should actually probably capitalize that. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh yeah. Myth busting. Creative testing. Explaining. Or not explaining, but non-playing content. Talking about the game. And there we go. Now, there are also things like the linear scale, the multiple choice grid, the checkbox grid. I believe the drop down and the checkbox grid are new since I last was here. And then I am actually going to make this question required. Or actually, no, I'm not. I was going to say I am actually going to make this question required because if I didn't, then people would say, well, I don't have one. Which you actually do. You don't have to be the best at it, but you certainly do have a skill set. But then people would just say, well, I'm just not going to respond to this. So, yeah. And then once you're done, you see this little button up here? It says send. And it says send via link. And it used to be goo.gl, but then they got rid of that URL shortener, and so it's now forms.gle. And now we will paste the, the link into our Word document so that we can put it into the description of our videos. And yes, the links will be in the description. If they are not, please let me know so that I can put it in the description. Please hold me accountable to that. Yeah, please hold me accountable to that. Now, with Twitch polls, I am not going to do a tutorial on them because, well, I'm not even an affiliate, so, yeah. Gosh darn it. Well, there you go. All is not lost when it comes to YouTube polling. I will say, things that are not alternatives to the YouTube poll cards would be your comments section, and also community tab polls, because if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you're not even going to have that tab. So that immediately discounts it. Whereas with Twitch polls, it is much, much easier to get an affiliate because the requirements for Twitch affiliation are so low. So yeah, the alternatives are StrawPoll, forums, and Twitch polls. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for. I really do hope you've enjoyed. If you did, then please do hit the like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But anyways, this has been Casady Stamps. Cheers for watching, and I will see you later. Bye. I probably should have used my other hand. Oh well.